With the postseason around the corner, the Astros had to be pleased with last night's performance of their ace, Dallas Keuchel. After an extended stay on the disabled list, the lefty looked like his Cy Young self as he frustrated the Athletics' bats, and the Astros took Game 1 of this 3-game series. Tonight, the A's send Kendall Graveman to the hill. The A's #1 starter is coming off an impressive performance last weekend and looks like he has found his groove after being on the shelf himself the past couple of months. Graveman looks to slow down the Astros. Game 2 is next. Saturday Night Baseball from downtown Houston. We are at Minute Maid Park for Game 2 of this series, as it'll be Kendall Graveman taking the mound, and he'll have Josh Reddick, one of the guys that he's going to go up against, former teammate. So we'll see how that matchup goes. But the A's, they need a win. They lost last night 3-1. It's the Oakland A's and the Houston Astros coming up on NBC Sports California, powered by Xfinity. Hi again, everybody. Welcome to Oakland A's Baseball. Along with Ray Fosse, I'm Glenn Kuiper. You saw Kendall Graveman. This will be his 4th start since coming back from the disabled list. And Ray, last start on Sunday, he looked like the old Kendall Graveman.
It's almost like it was 2 games. Early in the game, it looked like he was going to give up a lot of runs. He gave up 1 in the first inning, 1 in the second, but then he settled down. He ended up doing a great job striking out 8 batters. For Kendall Graveman to be at his best, he needs the movement, which you're seeing at the outside fastball. Good sinker down and in. He's got the little cut fastball he throws outside. He's just a complete pitcher. When he is healthy, he gets strikeouts, he gets ground ball outs, and maybe the A's can learn something from Dallas Keuchel last night. 17 ground ball outs from the starter last night. Maybe Kendall Graveman can do it tonight.
Well, the Astros' Alex Bregman was the 2nd player taken in the 2015 draft, just a year and a half in the minor leagues. And Ray, watching him play, you can tell it's just another terrific young player for the Astros.
They gave him a chance to play, and we've gotten a chance to see him play extremely well. Not only swinging the bat, which he went opposite field with the first run last night. It was a home run to right field. But what he did at third base, especially with a ground ball pitcher in Dallas Keuchel, he was all over the place, to his left, to his right, up the middle. He was doing everything that you want a third baseman to do, especially with a ground ball pitcher. Bregman did exceptionally well last night. You could understand why the Astros really like this young man at third base.
And the Astros will send Colin McHugh to the mound. He's making just his 6th start, as he has spent a good chunk of this season on the disabled list. So stick around. When we come back, we will check in with the A's pregame live studios, and then we'll close it in on first pitch. It's the A's and the Astros tonight, coming up from Minute Maid Park in Houston.
NBC Sports California is brought to you by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. By Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places. And by Jack in the Box. Come try the new $4.99 Smoky Jack Burger Combo with small fries and a small drink. Limited time only.
So we're just about set for baseball from Minute Maid Park in Houston as Colin McHugh, the starting pitcher for the Astros, leads the Stros out on the mound. You see the uniforms they're wearing. Those are the uniforms from 1997. So they're honoring that year, which was a good year for the Houston Astros. Let's check the game time weather presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is open daily. Roof closed again as it is another hot, humid day. 95 degrees outside, but very nice inside, and another very nice crowd on hand. Last night, a little over 30,000 in the building, and it looks like it may be a little bit bigger than that tonight.
They should be drawing extremely well considering the way their team is playing. So let's hope that's the case.
Let's look at the starting lineup for the Oakland A's. It's brought to you by Southwest Airlines, and here it is. Matt Joyce will lead off at right field. He had the home run last night, the only run in the game for the A's. Simeon, Lowry, Davis, Healy, Olson, Chapman, Maxwell, and Powell. That's the A's starting lineup.
Well, two pitchers have been spending a lot of time on the disabled list. One of them will be facing the A's tonight, and that is Colin McHugh. And of course, for Colin McHugh, he has pitched against the A's and done quite well, but he's been on the disabled list. He started with shoulder tendonitis. He went down to his elbow, and he is just looking for his first win, so he's not pitched that much. Good curveball, added slider, but the A's hope that they don't hit as many ground balls as they did last night.
Defensively for the Houston Astros, they line up like this. Derek Fisher, good-looking young rookie, is in left field. Springer in center, Reddick in right. Bregman, Gonzalez, Altuve, Gurriel on the infield, and Juan Centeno is the catcher tonight.
Play ball. That's what the young man just said. Play ball. Ready to go.
So McHugh is ready, so is Matt Joyce. And indeed, it's time to play ball.
1 hour earlier here tonight in Minute Maid Park, and that's why it's very bright and will be for a little while. Day game tomorrow. Fortunately, the roof remains closed because it is toasty outside.
First pitch of the ball game is a fastball from Colin McHugh and a swing and a miss. So we're underway.
Hey, Matt Joyce was thinking Tanaka was pitching, wanted to jump on the first pitch fastball and send it deep. No contact though.
18 home runs, 51 runs batted in for Matt Joyce. Umpires tonight. Ryan Editon is the home plate umpire. Dan Bellino, Mike Estabrook, and there's Jerry Lane. So it's good to see Jerry Lane back out there. He's
a gamer.
Got hit in the left hand last night, and he had to leave the game. You do not see that happen, but watch the left hand right there.
And he left, and there was no, well, I'll stay in. He just went straight to the clubhouse, got an x-ray, I'm sure, and back out tonight.
Fastball, swing and a miss, and a strikeout opens up the ball game.
About 2015, he struck out 11 batters of the Athletics in 5 2/3 innings, so he is a strikeout pitcher. He's got the good curveball, went backdoor, then fastball, a couple of fastballs that he got Matt Joyce. There's a slider. He's throwing 20% of the time now.
So PitchCast brought to you by Penn Fed Credit Union. So did not throw a slider last season, throwing it this year, and from what we understand, it's been a good pitch for him. Remember now, this is just his 6th start this year as he opened up the season on the disabled list with the shoulder injury.
It's amazing to me the pitch that was called to Matt Joyce came around the plate, yet called a strike on a big sweeping breaking ball. First pitch to Simeon. Looked like it crossed every part of the plate, was called a ball. But that's just kind of the different way the breaking ball is approaching the plate, and for the home plate umpire to make the call.
So 2-1 the count to Marcus Simeon, 259, 5 homers, 20 RBIs. And a fastball just a little bit off the plate.
There's your angle. Looks like we're pretty much straight on in center field with the camera right over the mound and home plate. Slightly maybe towards right center.
There's a line drive, and it is fair. Looks like it landed right on the chalk. It goes into the seats, and it's going to be a double for Marcus Semien.
I think Marcus has found a home in the second spot in the batting order. Homestand, he did bat ninth one time, but in the second spot, gets a 3-1 fastball, works the count nicely, and there's your count. Get it in your favor, and you're right, Keck, right on the line. Ball boy getting his chair out of the way and moving himself, and the ball jumped into the seats. Very low rails, sidewalls here at Minute Maid Park.
So here's Jed Lowry. Well, last night, where the A's just did not do a whole lot offensively, they had 1 run on 5 hits. They only had 2 at-bats with runners in scoring position. And they were 0 for 2. It was quite a breakdown last night. 27 outs made by the A's, 20 ground ball outs, 6 strikeouts, and 1 pop out to short.
That's right. So the outfielders didn't even need to be there.
You did not need it.
No.
Joe Madden likes to use 4 outfielders. You could have used 0 last night.
King in his court, just a pitcher and a catcher and some infielders.
That one hit up the middle. McHugh with a nice play, and now they're going to have Semien in a rundown. Bregman to Marwin Gonzalez, and that's the second out. That's a nice play by McHugh. So we saw Keuchel last night make, what, 3 or 4 pretty nice plays, and that's a big play.
Keuchel for 7 innings last night and 17 ground ball outs. I mean, he was dealing and did have 3 strikeouts, but everything was moving. The changeup down the middle to Chris Davis. Fastball up and in to Rajay with a foul tip, hanging on. And there's another fastball. Those are the 3 strikeouts, and then here come the ground balls back to him. He was a magician, not only pitching but handling his position, where he's won 3 Gold Gloves.
So here's Chris Davis. So Keuchel picked up his 11th win last night. He's 11-2. Just the 3 hits allowed, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, and he finished right at 100 pitches. So he was very, very good. He usually is against the A's.
And he will be the opening day starter for the Astros in the postseason, whether, well, it'd be the division 5-game series. He'll get a couple of starts.
Yeah, the Astros with the best record in the American League. They're 75-47. The Red Sox are 70-51. They have the second best record. So the Red Sox have a chance to catch them for the best record in the American League, but don't know that that's going to happen.
Well, the best record plays the wild card. Is that the way it works?
Yep.
And so whatever team in the American League would face the Astros, who would have home field advantage. Wild card team can never have home field advantage.
3-0 the count to Chris Davis. And that one's in first round.
So under the new guidelines for the World Series, I guess the best record in the regular season has the home field advantage for the World Series.
Yeah.
So that would be the Dodgers, the way they're going. They may not lose.
Well, whoever gets into the World Series, it's just simply who's got a better record.
Yeah. Because you could start the postseason with the best record, but not get to the postseason or the World Series.
That's that great baseball discussion now about the Dodgers, who are having this terrific season, right? But if they were to not win the World Series, does that make this season non-successful?
It's like the Warriors.
You can see both arguments, obviously. 3-2 pitch with the runner going. It's grounded to Gonzalez. Shortstop scoops, throws, side, retired. A's get a double, nothing else. Bottom of the first coming up. No score. By Southwest Airlines. Springer leads it off, then Bregman, Altuve, Reddick is in the cleanup spot. Gurriel, Gonzalez, Beltran, Centeno, and Fisher.
Kendall Graveman making the start for the Athletics tonight, and it was great to see him pitch as well as he did in his last start against the Orioles, especially after giving up a run in the first and second innings, then settled down. 8 strikeouts for the right-hander, 7 innings, and exactly what the A's skipper wants. Started go 7, mix and match after that. The A's won the game. He picked up his 3rd win. And he's fortunate tonight because Evan Gattis, who had a couple of home runs against him last year, still on the disabled list with a concussion.
First pitch to Springer is a fastball, first strike.
We hear so much about foul balls off catchers. Evan Gattis said it was a bat, a follow through by Dickerson that got him in the head and caused the concussion. And he said he felt okay till about 2 days afterwards, and he said, nope, can't do it. That's Gattis to the left, that's McCann to the right. 2 catchers, both beards. They're both on the disabled list.
Look like twin brothers.
Yes, they do. Matter of fact, they've been called the other person several times, which is understandable. Gattis just a little bit bigger than Brian McCann. McCann with some tendonitis in his knee, but both getting a chance to rest a little bit before they head down the stretch.
2-2 the count to Springer. 304, 28 homers, 70 RBIs for George Springer.
Gattis was probably telling McCann, you know, you weren't here last year, but I took this guy deep a couple of times. You know, you were catching for the Yankees.
Tap slowly, third base line. Graveman's throw, and it rolls away, and Springer did not see it initially, and now he's got to hustle back to first. The ball really rolled right past him. I think if he would have saw it initially, he probably would have been able to get to second base.
And he made a slight turn at the end, and that's why Rich Dow said, you better hurry up and get back, because once you turn towards second, it's as if you're going that direction and you could be tagged out. He had to hustle back, but you're right, Kyle. He lost it as it rolled past him, gets the infield hit. Not much chance for Graveman to throw him out.
He saw it, though. He was looking right at it.
He saw it, and then he started and turned and then had to hurry to get back. But maybe his momentum had carried a little bit too far down the line to try to go to second.
So Springer with an infield hit, and here's Bregman. Low strike call. Graveman likes that. Ryan Ataton, who we have not seen call balls and strikes this year. 1-1 the count to Bregman. Last night, Bregman hit his 14th home run of the year. He hit it the other way.
Well, I guess it was a fitting that he did it, consider his defensive plays, because that was the first run on the scoreboard for either team, and it meant right after him, Altuve did it. Very quickly, 2-0. All 3 runs scored by the Astros last night, coming with 2 outs.
Well, if Dallas Keuchel is starting, you better be ready as the third baseman and the shortstop, because you're going to get a lot of action. And Bregman, he made 4 or 5 very nice plays last night.
Yeah, you're right, because Gonzalez made just as many.
Yes,
so
he did.
Of the 17, a lot of them were to the left side with right-handed hitters.
Close pitch, and now it's 3-1. It's funny, there's a line of sunshine going from short left center field right to home plate. You can see it there, and it's right on the hitter when he steps into the batter's box, and it's right on the catcher. It's not going to be there very long.
You can see the shadow when Bregman put the bat in front of his face.
And that would just miss low. Very close pitch. So 2 on, nobody out. Here's the A's defensive lineup. Chris Davis in left, Boop Powell in center, Matt Joyce, who's in right, Matt Chapman, Marcus Semien on the left side, Jed Lowry, Matt Olson on the right side, and Maxwell is your catcher. So let's see how close that last pitch was to Bregman.
He called it a strike first pitch of the game, but not this time. It was low. Actually, both of them were. But the first one was called a strike, and that's all the pitcher wanted is consistency, and he didn't get it.
First pitch to Altuve. That's a strike down around the knee. Altuve, a .303 hitter with runners in scoring position. Missed outside, 1-1. Altuve, .362. That's the best batting average, not only in the American League, but it's the best batting average in baseball. The next closest hitter is Justin Turner from the Dodgers, and he's at .345. So Altuve doing his thing again. Leads the major leagues in hits with 169. Segura second in the league in hitting, but he's got a long ways to go to catch Altuve. So Altuve with pretty good opportunity to win a batting title. That's a strike. 2-2 to count.
Fans didn't like it, but I don't care. It's not that tall, but still, that ball's down the middle of the plate about belt high. See how far he's off the plate too, which is unusual, but that's why he can handle inside part of the plate as well as away.
Hits that one to Chapman, who spins around, fires the second for one onto first, and that's a double play.
Well, ground ball pitcher, you're able to do that. Matt Chapman doing a great job catching the .360 and a perfect throw to Jed Lowry, who comes across the bag, and that is a nice double play, hit hard enough by Altuve, who runs extremely well, but the fact that Chapman had to catch it and spin with him as quick as he is didn't take that much time. But nice play, got to catch it first, spin, make a good throw to Jed Lowry, and continue the double play, and that's what you want to see with a ground ball pitcher and Kendall Graveman. And you were right, Cap, left side of the infield, everybody be alert. Matt Chapman was.
13 opponent ground ball double plays in 12 starts, so that's a lot. Broken bat right to Chapman with the shift on, side retired. So big double play helps out Kendall Graveman. No score after one from Houston.
For Graveman, he needs to be the ace. He is the ace now. He started the season. He won. He's back on track, making his 4th start since returning from the DL. And, of course, for the offense, much better approach than last night because the offense they didn't need an outfielder for the Astros except for the ball that Matt Joyce hit the right field for the right fielder to just look at it going to seats, and that was it. A lot of ground ball outs, a lot of strikeouts, and just already tonight with the double by Simeon, but not much out of that.
First pitch strike to Ryan Healy.
The key is Graveman, though. He's got to be the guy to lead this staff because there's a lot of young pitchers. He's not that old himself, but he can be the tremendous leader on this staff.
0-2 to Healy, hitting .262 with 21 home runs and 66 runs batted in. Healy was 1 for 3 last night. He's got a little 6-game hitting streak going, 10 hits and 23 at bats. And that looked like that slider. We've seen McHugh's curve, which is kind of a over-the-top curve. This one more of a sweeping action.
Well, so what he threw to Simeon, kind of similar, but normally the curveball is 12-6. This is a big sweeping, like you said, but it's really big for a slider. It's slider maybe is half that and more over the top, but got the job done. Similar pitch that again Simeon got was called the ball.
McHugh is 6-1 in his career against the Athletics. So he has pitched some of his better games against the A's. Faced him 4 times last year. Won twice and had a couple of no decisions. The Astros won all 4 of those games, a 3.02 ERA. So he's been tough on the Athletics. And that one is smoked right field. It is foul. Well, if you're into exit velocity, that was probably pretty good.
Well, Olsen does not get cheated when he has the count in his favor, and if you're going by sound, it's a home run because it sounded very crispy. I guess how pitchers are trying to pitch him inside. Started to go inside, now going back over the breaking ball.
So 2-2 to Olsen, who's got 8 homers, 16 RBIs. 17 hits and 81 at bats so far in the big leagues for Olsen this year. Tries to hold up, and he did, says Jerry Lane.
See him shaking his hand. He's got very good eye and of course a lot of body, and that's why I'm glad it was a check to third base, because you'd like to see the third base or first base umpire make that call because they can see the body moves but the bat doesn't.
And another 3-2 for another breaking ball with 2 strikes, and it misses outside.
Maybe the 2-0 fastball scared him.
It's possible.
Well, it's hard to believe as much as hitter our teams want pitching. And Colin McHugh was designated by the Rockies and signed by the Astros, and for a game he pitched in 14, 8 2/3 innings against the A's here. And he has pitched great, and all of it was because of the spin rate on his curveball. That's been something that's followed him. Great curveball, and they looked at the spin rate, saw it was much better than the average, and they signed it. It's been a pretty good sign for the Astros.
He sure has.
Especially if he can stay healthy.
Yeah, look at his seasons. 11-9, 19-7, and 13-10. That's pretty solid numbers for a starting pitcher.
Yeah, the 19 was right behind Dallas Keuchel, who won the Cy Young Award that year, winning 20.
And this year, McHugh, his shoulder started barking in spring training. And they said, that's it. Shoulder tendonitis, and so he was on the disabled list for quite a long time. A little bit outside.
And that was I don't know where those pitches are, but they sure do look like strikes, and not just the one McHugh. This, I mean, that the box is in front of home plate.
So we're all trying to figure out the strike zone right now.
So is Mr. Addison.
So 2-2 the count to Matt Chapman. 9 home runs, 24 RBIs. Pop up foul. So 2-2 the count. Maxwell will be next. And that's a breaking ball that stays inside. So now the count is 3-2.
3 of the last 4 batters, 3-2 counts. Only Ryan Healy 0-2. Got a big sweeping breaking ball, struck him out.
Olsen not running, and the ball's popped up foul.
Breaking ball, didn't challenge him. Is with the power of Matt Chapman, he can go out to this right field easily. So if he gets a fastball away, he could hit it into the seats like Bregman did last night.
Slider strike 3 call. So Chapman gets caught looking, and that's
front door breaking ball.
Second out.
And it froze him when you buckle the knees and goes front door. This is like the back door curveball to left-handers. It went front door. The great Mariano Rivera had a cut fastball that he would throw pretty consistently into the right-handers, but that's a sweeping breaking ball that same location to left-handers and also to right-handers.
First pitch fastball to Maxwell right there, first round. Fastball a little high. Maxwell at 222 with a homer and 14 RBIs. And there's the sunshine coming through way up top of the left field foul pole. So the people at first base, including Mike Eldred, the first base coach, that's what they're dealing with. It won't be there for long. A little bit outside, close pitch.
I'm always curious to find out what the grading percentage would be for an umpire after a game like this, where so many look like strikes, but they're close and probably graded very highly.
There's a strike, 3-2. Well, my question to that would be who's grading, right? I mean,
well, I know. Well, they're supposed to get a disc to show they've got pointing from dugout to dugout, behind home plate, all going to home plate. Even that last pitch looked like the pitch that Marvin Gonzalez complained about on Thursday.
Runner goes on 3-2 with 2 outs, and it's hit foul. So we'll do the 3-2 out again to Maxwell. Boy, a lot of pitches for Colin McHugh. Yeah. He's at 41. Runner goes, and the ball's hit towards center. Springer Right in his tracks. He's got it. Side retired. Runner left for the A's. Bottom of the second coming up. No score. Third, Chris Wondolowski and the Quakes are locked in a battle for playoff position as they face the Philadelphia Union from beautiful Avaya Stadium. The home of the authentic Earthquakes fan is NBC Sports, California. So that's coming up after A's baseball. Your MLS fix. Earthquakes and the Philadelphia Union. Here in Houston, no score, bottom of the second inning. It'll be Gurriel, Gonzalez, and Beltran against Kendall Graveman. Graveman got himself in a little bit of trouble in the first, but he got a big double play ball. Fastball inside, 1-1 the count.
Oh, that first pitch a strike. That's amazing. It seems to be almost hitting. So his right arm go up.
296 for Gurriel, 15 home runs and 61 runs batted in. Couple of hits last night, scored a run. And that one missed off the plate, but not by much. 3-1 the count.
I don't think those are missing, Cat.
That looked like a good pitch.
It just, again, a lot of times there's an angle, but it seems like this is pretty close to being over the top.
Chapman has it. Throws across, one away. Interesting development today, Major League Baseball, and it has to do with the umpires. Check this out. Umpires today, not in just this game, but all around Major League Baseball, they are all wearing white wristbands. Now, you may say, well, okay, why are they doing that? Well, Umpires Union sent out a press release today, and the white wristbands are the umpires' protest to what they are calling, and this is the quote from the press release, escalating verbal attacks on umpires. And it's the umpires' strong objection to how those attacks have been handled by Major League Baseball. And it also says that they will wear the white wristbands until these issues are addressed. Okay. Very interesting.
How do they know what the verbal attacks are? Are they the ones reporting them to Major League Baseball? Or Major League Baseball not hearing them? That's.
Well, it sounds like some of it has to do with what happened with Ian Kinsler and Angel Hernandez, where Kinsler said some things that, listen, I'm sure he probably regretted later, but the next day you could also see Kinsler and Hernandez shaking hands.
Sure.
So they worked it out, right? They're probably going to agree to disagree.
How about Joe West and Adrian Beltre? Joe West was suspended. And Beltran said, we always kid each other.
Yeah.
And so how far do you take it?
I think in reading about this today, it sounds like that the union, the umpires union, they thought Kinsler should have been suspended. Because Joe West was suspended.
Joe West was, yeah.
So they're doing this little protest thing, and we'll see how that works out. I'm not sure what Major League Baseball is going to do about it, or what the. Just go start suspending guys when they have a disagreement. Your reaction is priceless right now, right?
Oh, man.
Powell backs up. Ball's hit well, but it's going to stay in the ballpark.
Listen, I remember some confrontations between the late, great Earl Weaver and Bill Howard and Ron Luciano. I mean, it was comical. I mean, here's Earl Weaver about the waist of Bill Howard. He's looking down at him, you know. I mean, it's been part of
his chest.
Yeah, part of the game, you know. And Billy Martin kicking dirt. I mean, it's been. Actually, we've talked about this, that with the challenge of the replay, and you can't argue balls and strikes, and, you know, you can't argue a decision on a challenge.
There's fewer arguments.
Exactly. A lot fewer. Almost to the point they're non-existent. I don't know. I always thought that maybe, remember when Joe Torre, Bobby Cox, and Tony Russo all retired at the same time, went to the Hall of Fame, Jim Leland right after them. These are four guys who loved Bobby Cox. I mean, he got ejected almost daily. But that's taken away. I don't know. It's.
I'm with you.
I mean, I got ejected from the game by the late Ron Luciano because I jumped too high. He missed 4 pitches right down the middle, and he admitted later. And finally, on the 3-0, I just jumped up, turned around before I hit the ground, as I was gone. I said, "What did I do?" He says, "You jumped too high." But he missed 4, and he admitted he missed them all to Lou Piniella playing in Kansas City.
And Beltran swings at a pitch in the dirt. Good inning for Kendall Graveman as we're through 2. No score, and we have not had a escalating verbal attack just yet.
In style by booking a watches.com suite today. Visit athletics.com/tickets to book your suite. And for all A's fans, receive 20% off your first order at watches.com by using promo code athletics. Beautiful watch. Watches.com. The suites, they're doing it all. A lot of great advertising the A's throughout the 2017 season, we hope beyond.
So Powell to lead it off here in the 3rd. Powell, a good swing, fouls it straight back.
They're trying to range when the A's go to Baltimore. An interview with Boog Powell and Boog Powell. out at Boog's Barbecue. I said, I'll go out as long as it's at Boog's Barbecue.
Not just going to go out there without getting some grub.
Yeah, got to have some good Boog's Barbecue. Boog was saying, as I said, he said when he played the Orioles in the minor leagues, that they always introduced him as Mac. They never said Boog Powell because of the Orioles fans at the minor league level.
Really?
Would look at it and say, wait a minute, this is a Boog Powell. Mac is his, I guess, called him Little Mac, I think, initially. The parents did. Changed it to Boog.
Slaps this one toward left center field, and looks like maybe Fisher lost it in the lights or something. But it is a hit for Powell, and here in Houston, it's Legends Weekend, as we mentioned, as they're looking back and celebrating the 1997 team that was a division winner. They won 84 games that year, won the National League Central, and that right there was the clincher.
Let's challenge that. He looked like he was through the bag.
So the Astros in 1997 won the Central. And they had some good players on that team. Of course, Bagwell and Biggio, a couple of Hall of Famers.
Yeah, the Killer Bees was Bergman there at the time. Bergman, Biggio, and Bagwell.
Derek Bell, Bobby Abreu was on that team.
Right.
Brad Ausmus was their catcher. How about foul? So some of the guys were back, as you see the Hall of Famers right there. Craig Biggio sitting down, Jeff Bagwell, and some of the other guys. So pretty darn good team.
Whitaker, former manager and broadcaster. A.J. Hinch, the manager, catcher.
The Astros, in their time here in Houston, they have been to the postseason 10 times. But that 1997 season was kind of the start of a terrific stretch. From 1997 to 2005, a 9-year period, they went to the postseason 6 times, and of course Powell hustling back. Of course, they went to the World Series in 2005 and lost. But that was their best group of teams.
Yeah.
And there's the celebration and what we just showed you. So that's pretty cool. Mike Hampton.
Mike Hampton.
So that is the giveaway tonight. That's a good one. A clinching celebration bobblehead.
I like it. They're getting very creative with the bobbleheads. They had the tarp catch by Josh Donaldson at the Coliseum. They had the MVP and Cy Young Award, Tejada and Zito.
Remember Reddick climbing the fence in spring training? That was a good one.
Michael Morris, back-to-back at bats, climbed the fence, robbed him of home runs. Spider-Man.
Altuve's got it on the backhand. Out at second, and that's a double play. So nicely turned double play by the Houston Astros.
Well, last night Matt Joyce bunted to the left side because of the shift. Tonight they're shifting him to the right side. Look what he does, this outside pitch. That's a rollover right there. That's a tailor-made double play. That would have been Bregman taking the ball, the third baseman. So 4-5-3 would be the double play. It was turned nonetheless. Bregman has played some shortstop, so he knows how to do it.
So here's Simeon, who doubled in the first. He takes a first pitch strike. Remember, the Astros moved from the National League West to the National League Central in 1994. So that was actually the first time they won the Central.
Yeah.
Swinging and a miss. One and two to Marcus. This one's hit high in the air to right field, playable for Reddick. Trots in and over, makes the catch, side retired. So double play turned by the Astros is big. Bottom of the third coming up. No score. Or say, show me the Oakland A's into your X1 voice remote and get live stats on your TV. Change the way you experience TV with Xfinity X1. Nice big concourse here at Minute Maid Park. Plenty of items. You can get whatever you want.
If you walk outside, you can get some heat and humidity.
You can head out to center field, go to Torchy's Tacos. Yeah. And if you're still hungry, then you just drop right downstairs and go to Shake Shack. Really, it doesn't get much better than that as Davis takes care of the pop-up from
Kendall Graveman making his 12th start tonight, 24 starts last year. On this date, 1 year ago, where Kendall Graveman won over the minimum and gave up a couple of hits, both on ended with double plays. He faced 28 batters, 98 pitches, and that's after he talked to Greg Maddux. He pitched the complete game. It was a shutout. He's won 9-0. That is the last complete game for the Athletics in 162 games. That was it against the Chicago White Sox in Chicago. So Kendall Graveman 1 year ago. Will he do it again tonight?
That'd be nice.
That's what he did. 162 straight games. That's an A's record. That's without a complete game. So Kendall Graveman was the star then, trying to win it tonight. Considering he's on the disabled list quite a while, probably would not get the opportunity, although just 98 pitches last year on that date. But he made 31 starts last year too. Did not spend time on the DL.
Well, he's the kind of pitcher that could. He doesn't necessarily think strikeout. He can get early outs with.
That's right.
With his good two-seam fastball.
Well, like the double plays, gets in trouble in the first inning, gets a double play, gets 2 quick outs, then a ground out, and gets out of the inning. But I think it takes a pitcher in today's world with the 5-man rotation. You're looking at anywhere from 31, 35 starts, depending on how it falls with off days and the rest. But there's so much specialization in the bullpen now that you don't get. Well, I mean, just looking around baseball, how few complete games there are in baseball. And usually the pitch count, specialization in the bullpen. Get late in the game. A Hall of Famer could do it. He could strike you out. He could hit you. He could do anything. Nolan Ryan, along with his son, Reed Ryan, who's president.
A good pitch to Derek Fisher. Well placed. And Graveman gets the strikeout. Interesting note on Graveman, it has to do with fastball usage and the 2-strike fastball usage. So previous starts and then Sunday versus the Orioles, he ticked it up a fair amount, used the fastball more and use it more in 2-strike situations. And really, if you think about last year, Ray, remember he started out and he was not very good early.
Right.
And then he said, I'm going to use my fastball more, and all of a sudden everything clicked. Springer lines one off the top of the Crawford boxes. Springer's going to try for 2. The A's got a shot. The throw is right there, and he is safe.
Oh, wow. Huh. He had to go around the tag.
So Chris Davis made a terrific throw. It came right back to him. But Springer looks like he did a little Houdini slide.
Yeah, but the 2 outs going for 2, which is a pretty good idea. And somehow with the perfect throw, had it by about 4 feet. But watch this. He goes around. And Jed Lowry missed him and staying with the tag, but somehow he kept his hand on the bag, but his right hand did not go in. That's what Jed Lowry was going after, but he never used to check the right hand. He comes back with it and goes around with his left hand, keeps the fingers on the bag somehow. It's like there's Velcro on his fingertips and on the bag to stay. Surprisingly, his momentum did not carry him past the bag where the tag would have gotten him out, but that was the home plate umpire, second base umpire Mike Estabrook keeping his eye on it. But a great slide by Springer. Just brought his right hand over and checked the fingers of the left hand and kept his fingers on the bag. That's too bad. That's a great throw by Chris Davis.
2-0 now to Bregman.
Well, that's a big safe caught at second. Great slide by Springer, because now instead of being back in the dugout with a great throw by Chris Davis, you got to worry about Bregman, who's been swinging a hot bat.
Bregman walked in the first inning. And that's a fastball for a strike. And watched a good throw by Chris Davis. He played it well, came right back to him.
Hit it almost close to being a home run, but came back hard to Chris Davis, and strong, accurate throw. And Jed Lowry actually went for the bag, but the right arm, right hand, Springer went around everything.
Springer dancing way off the bag. He's not being held on, which is usually you don't see the middle infielders worry too much about the runner at second base with 2 outs.
And Altuve stole third last night in a similar situation, and again, the only way you're going to benefit is if there's a wild pitch, infield hit, a lot of different ways, but big 90 feet. I guess if you're going to give it to you, you might as well take it. But you got to be 100%.
.294 average with runners in scoring position and 2 outs for Bregman. And a good pitch there as it jams Bregman. And Davis comes in. He makes the catch. Side retired. Springer stranded at second, and we're headed to the 4th. No score. A's and Astros. '18 season are on sale as part of the A's new innovative program focused on increased benefits, flexibility, and discounts. The program rewards tenure and includes exciting discounts on concessions, eliminates ticket exchange limitations, and provides exclusive new experiences and events for members. Renew or purchase new season ticket memberships now at athletics.com/2018. Get them now. New ballpark on the horizon. As always, you have season tickets and you're going to the new ballpark and you'll be in high cotton. That'd be great. It's going to happen. You get to see a good young club and they're going to grow into a world champion. It's a matter of time. 1-1 the count to Lowry. Lowry, Davis, and Healy. Lowry reached on a fielder's choice in the first inning. He hit a hard ground ball that Colin McHugh reached down and grabbed. Shift is on. Shallow center, and that's going to drop for a hit. So for the second inning in a row, the A's have their leadoff man aboard. See if they can do anything with it.
They got jammed, but you're right about the shift. They expected him to get out in front and pull the pitch, and instead Jed Lowry with the breaking ball coming in on his hands, shot it out the left field. Wasn't hard, but perfectly placed. That's all that matters. Jed back home, sleeping in his own bed. On base to lead off the 4th inning. Q's got to get his pitch count down because he's thrown a lot of pitches.
59. First pitch to Davis. A line drive grabbed by Colin McHugh. He flips to first, double play. So just like that, 2 outs.
Well, this is dangerous for a pitcher to go right back and then really right into his glove. A little flip over to Gurriel and that quickly. And you know the old saying, and Jed Lowry went on as soon as the contact was made. It's a line drive, and he's chuckling, but you know that's one of those things that you're at first base and there's a line drive ball like that, you stop and go back, and it should not be doubled off.
2 outs for Healy, and he takes a fastball right on the outside corner.
And I don't think it was a hit and run. I think it just
no, I don't think so.
Yeah.
No, didn't look
hit and run would be a different story, but it just seemed like he took off as soon as contact was made. Simeon actually did the same thing in the first inning, going as soon as contact was made by Jed Lowry. McHugh is handling his position very well. And I would think, though, okay, if you think about what McHugh does or Keiko did last night, every pitcher says, I want to follow this guy. I want to be a good fielding pitcher as well. And
well, you witness how much it helps a pitcher firsthand.
Exactly right. Exactly right.
And we know Keiko's a good fielder, right? We hear about it all the time. But if you ever wonder how important it is, if you watched last night and the first 4 innings tonight, how much a pitcher can help himself. I mean, that's all you need to see. Healy rolls one into right field. He beats the shift. He did that last night as well.
And that's a great point, because if you don't have a shift, then you have second baseman, shortstop, the entire up the middle is open. And if you don't field your position, it's going to go into center field. McHugh has. This is just smart hitting with a fastball up and away from Ryan Healy and the shift. And this is a base hit. But the philosophy of the Astros, and they've talked about, this is where a second baseman normally would be playing. But their philosophy is, just like with Matt Joyce, he hit into the shift. So that justifies all the shifts. Turns into double play. Last night he bunted and went against the shift, but that's how they look at it, not how many go against the shift. But all you have to do is kind of hit into it once, and it justifies everything they do. And this club shifts a lot.
Just about every hitter.
Exactly.
The Astros are shifting.
Steve Scarsoni's coaching third. He said, boy, I had a lot of activity last night, didn't I? Jokingly. He said, my biggest,
him there either.
He said, my biggest thrill was watching Matt Joyce bunt and hoping the ball would go past third down the left field line. He'd get a double out of it. But instead it was a single, almost hit the bag. But he was very lonely at third last night. Shook Matt's hand as he hit the home run. Otherwise, nobody was down there.
So we didn't need outfielders last night, and we didn't need a third baseman.
That's right.
So 1-1 to Olson, who walked in the second inning. That one's hit hard, and that beats the shift into right field. Healy with a big turn, but he stops. So Matt Olson hits it hard, gets it through.
Well, the good thing about Olson is that when he makes contact, the ball jumps off his bat, and even with the shift, no chance for the Gold Glover at second base. Altuve to get it. There's the backdoor breaking ball. Hit it hard. See Altuve with a shift, and a couple of steps and the ball was past him. But Healy, a very smart play, and Healy looks at his former teammate, who he knows if he tried for third, he probably would have thrown him out. And it was Reddick last year who invited Healy, amongst other rookies, to come live with him, and they were called up to the big leagues. Very disappointed when Reddick was traded to Dodgers. They were left homeless.
That's right.
And I don't think they assumed Josh's contract on the house or wherever he was living.
We'll see if the A's can get a 2-out hit here from Matt Chapman, who struck out looking in the second inning.
3 hits in the inning and just have runners at first and second and 2 outs.
Swing and a miss. 1-1 the count. Straightaway outfield. And good arms in that outfield.
Yeah, good fastball, and I think this is showing the respect of Matt Chapman's ability. That's as straight up as you're going to see. But he does and can use the whole field, or maybe they just do not have enough information on him. Somehow with Olson they do.
That's hit well to right center field, but Reddick's got plenty of room, and he makes the catch. Side retired. The A's get 3 hits, but do not score. Bottom of the 4th coming up. Altuve to lead it off. Off. We mentioned it last night. Altuve once again an MVP candidate. Ray, what do you think? We've put together the guys that we think probably the candidates right now. Altuve, Judge, Trout, Cruz, and Sale. Now those numbers do not include anything that has happened tonight. So what do you think?
Yeah,
I think this is his best chance
That's right.
to win it. And I say that because Trout has missed a lot of time.
That's right.
Judge has really struggled in the second half. Nelson Cruz has been terrific. But again, Nelson Cruz is a DH.
And Chris
how much does
Sale
that come into
gave
play?
him a Cy Young award.
And Chris Sale's pitcher, which some people...
Yeah. I don't think you're going to see as many now pitchers winning the MVP, especially if you have guys like Altuve and Nelson Cruz and Trout and Judge and other guys that are viable candidates.
I've never been a big fan of it.
I agree.
I agree.
I know guys coming in this weekend.
Won it as an A, which was great.
No, because these guys play every day. I mean, a starter. I mean, Altuve is going to get 600 plate appearances, and look what he's done. He's talking about consistent. July is off the chart. June and July, 354, 485. Almost hit 500 in a month.
Almost.
But to me, if you're going out every day and playing, and I think pitchers would agree that there's an award for pitchers at Cy Young, you're the best pitcher, and the MVP. I don't know, 31, 32 starts now for a starting pitcher.
Well, here's the argument, though, and I've heard this argument, and I get it, that okay, you're right. The starting pitchers only make 31, 32 starts as opposed to 150 games per player. But in those 31 starts, nobody impacts the game more than the starting pitcher.
But if he doesn't win 31, how much is he impacted?
True.
I mean,
but the point is if he's the guy that day pitching, then his importance level escalates, which makes sense. But you're right. Is he?
But then
he's got to be good every single game for that to make a full.
Exactly, and I think then you have to start looking at complete games for the full impact. How much do you depend on the back end of the bullpen, the closer? And I mean, in case of Chris Sale, just like Nolan Ryan would show, 10 strikeouts per game. I mean, in today's world, for a pitcher to get close to 300 strikeouts, it's unheard of. I mean, that's making it probably at most 35 starts.
So could be the year for Jose Altuve.
Yeah.
He's won a couple batting titles, and he's probably going to win it again this year. He won it last year. Last year he hit 338. He also won it in 2014 when he hit 341. So he's got 2 batting titles.
And Cap, I think you're going to look at this season of the Astros, where they are in the season. Of course, you never account for what a team or player does in postseason because the awards are given through the final day of the regular season. And what Altuve is doing to help get the ball club in the postseason has been tremendous. Nelson Cruz has done the same thing for the Mariners.
And he walks. So a leadoff walk to the man we're talking about, Jose Altuve. And did we mention that he's a pretty darn good base stealer?
Well, I mean, he's a Gold Glove second baseman. Hard to believe that a guy about 5'4" is a 5'12" player, but he is. 19 home runs, leading the league in hitting, stolen bases, plays Gold Glove second base. I mean, hits for an average, hit for power. Can roll, run, throw, do it all. He's an impact player. Kendall Graveman last year made 31 starts. 15 of those games, Kendall Graveman had double figures in ground ball outs. He's had 4 in his previous 11 starts before tonight. He's already got a double play ground ball tonight with Altuve at the plate.
Reddick watches that one drop down and away. That's too, if you're a player like Altuve and you're sitting here playing in this game, you can see it's probably going to be a low-scoring game. Both pitchers seem to be sharp. That's where you're probably thinking about stealing a bag.
That's right. And in the case of Josh Reddick, they're shifting him. Even though he grounded out with a runner at third his first at bat, broken back to Chapman, he may be thinking line drive to left field now.
27 steal. Dyson's on the disabled list, so Altuve's got a good chance to lead the league in stolen bases. He's only been thrown out 5 times. And he goes. Reddick takes. It's a breaking ball. Then the throw to second base is high. So Altuve, he picked the right pitch to go on. And now the Astros have a runner at second base with nobody out.
A tremendous jump. Watch his jump from Altuve. High leg kick by Kendall Graveman, and really Maxwell really didn't have much of a chance. It was a backdoor breaking ball and quick release, but the only thing he could do is fake that maybe the ball went into center field. You could see by the time Maxwell got the ball, Altuve was at least halfway to second.
2-0 pitch to Reddick, swing and a miss.
He was trying to go to left field that time. See where Rajay Davis was, and Rajay's a part-time player. And that's the amazing thing about him, to even be on that list, considering he's not playing every day like Dyson was before the DL and Altuve is now.
Dismissed 3-1 with Gurriel waiting in the on-deck circle. Rajay can steal him in bunches too.
Yes,
We've seen him steal 2 or 3 in a game. That's not unusual for him, but you're right, he's just not playing every day. He's going to play against lefties.
They have 26 stolen bases playing only against lefties. It says he's got to get on base. Once he does, he wreaks havoc on the opposition.
Reddick hits one the other way while foul. So a full count. 2 walks, 2 strikeouts now for Graveman. Two pitch down and in. He walked in. So back-to-back walks to open up the bottom of the 4th inning. Graveman needs one of those double play balls. He got one in the 1st inning.
Well, it was Colin McHugh in the first couple of innings that had a tough time with a lot of 3-ball counts. He settled down. Now Graveman in that similar situation.
Here's Gurriel, who grounded to third in the 2nd inning. Pickoff. Lowry sneaks in. Well, we know Altuve's fast, and Reddick's always been a very good base runner. So another situation you got to pay attention to.
Yeah, he's going to get a big lead off first, as he is right now, which means that it's a tough call for the manager as to where Maxwell will throw if it's a double steal attempt.
Well, the Astros, listen, their offense is really hard to stop. They lead the American League in runs, home runs, average, doubles, slugging, on base percentage. They lead the league in all of those categories. Chop slowly up the line. They've scored 694 runs coming into the game, 193 home runs. There's the best average. And on top of all that, Ray, which really makes it even more amazing, they have the fewest strikeouts in the American League. So, I mean, they're constantly putting pressure on.
Exactly. Yeah, they take the walks and they get the hits.
Remember 4 years ago, they led the league, they led the world in strikeouts.
Right.
Completely flipped it over. But if you lead the league in home runs and have the fewest strikeouts, that's very, very hard to do.
That's right. Great combination. Well, when Josh Reddick was upset, and we talked about how the Astros did not make a move at the trading deadline, I think all players realize you get postseason short series, it comes down to pitching and defense. Not a lot of runs are going to score, and Reddick was very outspoken, as he normally is, about how the Astros did not do anything at the trading deadline. Probably realizing the pitching would be important.
Base hit right field. Joyce picks it up, and they're going to hold Altuve. Joyce throws to third. So I'm not sure Matt Joyce knew that Altuve was being held up. But either way, the bases are loaded.
Unless he thought he was rounding the back too far and threw up the throw. He just threw up his hand. Maybe he didn't see it. That's a great piece of hitting by Gurriel with the shift, and they pitched him inside, and instead of trying to pull it, he went inside out. I think Joyce thought Altuve was going to score, and he was conceding the run and going to third base. And Gary Pettis, a very aggressive third base coach, ball was not hit that well. It's hit hard and not that deep, and the fact that Joyce charged it, nobody out, he was not going to take a chance.
So here is the switch hitter Marwin Gonzalez, who hit a fly ball to center field in the second inning. Gonzalez takes low. Gonzalez is a .373 hitter with runners in scoring position. The Astros as a team with the bases loaded, .315. So tough spot here for Graveman. Sometimes you got to get a little luck.
How about a ground ball to the pitcher, field your position, and get the old 1-2-3 double play. That's right. Gonzalez takes forever.
He's the human rainbow.
Yeah, he wasn't set up, and tell you what, the umpire should force him to get in the batter's box. Once he gets his feet in there, he's in the box. Should not be given timeout.
And that's low. And now it's 2-0. Altuve at third, Reddick at second, Gurriel at first. And the crowd is into it. Scott Emerson's going to come out. Make sure everybody's on the same page. Got to throw a strike. Graveman sets and delivers, and that one misses low, and now it's 3-0.
Graveman has only had 3 games in which a walk he has given up has scored, and that was against the Twins. One of them had 3 score of the 4 walks, and right now he's got 2 walks on a single that's on the bases to load them, and with a 3-0 count.
The 3-0 pitch is hit toward Lowry. It kicks off his glove into shallow right field. 1 run scores, 2 runs score, and the Astros take a 2-0 lead.
Looked like Jed was going to try to do a little bit too much on the play. He's going to try to catch and then throw to second base. As he reached down, the ball scooted under his glove, and there's your 3-0 swing. And it could have been at least 1 out, maybe a double play, but Jed went to his left, reached down, the ball was mine.
Yeah, I think if nothing else, if he feels it, he would have gotten Gonzalez at first, because Gonzalez slipped coming out of the box a little bit. But it goes as a base hit and 2 RBI. So the Astros lead 2-0, still nobody out. And here's Carlos Beltran, who takes a strike. So Marwin Gonzalez now is 71 RBIs on the year. 1-1 to count. And Liam Hendricks now just starting to get loose.
This could have a big effect, this humidity, and the way Kendo wiping his brow. It's very hot on the field. He seemed to be a little bit comfortable up here, but on down there, it is hot.
So 1-2. Graveman just needs to get it out here in this inning. Calm things down a little bit. Juan Centeno is the on-deck hitter. Outside to even the count. Gurriel at second, Gonzalez at first, and the 2-2 pitch is fouled off of Maxwell and got him pretty good.
Straight off the mask.
Man. The count stays 2-2. Left field, Davis into that corner, and he's got it. Both runners tag up and head to second and third. So Davis got to kind of get around the Crawford boxes and go into that little corner right in front of the bullpen, and he was able to do that to make the catch.
Beltran 10 feet to the left towards the line. It's a 3-run home run, but it's almost like Katie was trying to guide the ball into that area, which is deeper. He did. He caught it. Both runners tagged. I think both runners realized that once the ball did not get close to the Crawford boxes, that it was going to be on the warning track, not deep enough to be hit out.
So second and third, it's a very productive out, though, as the runners both move up. And there's a line drive. Joyce coming in. Joyce has it. Gurriel slipped a little bit as he went back to tag up, and he decides it's probably better to stay there. So Juan Centeno hit a line shot that Joyce made a nice play on.
Play shallow, get a good jump, catch it, and throw it. And that's hang with him. Nice swing, but put on the catch and get ready to go back out. But That initial move by Gurriel went down the line. Then when he went back hurriedly, he took off, and that's when he slipped. But probably ill-advised to even think about running regardless. Strong throw by Matt Joyce, who charged the ball perfectly. The one hop up the line a little bit, but probably would have been there in plenty of time.
So 2 outs, and here's Derek Fisher. Derek Fisher struck out looking in the 3rd inning, one of the Astros' top prospects.
You just think what kind of a starting pitcher they could have gotten for this guy.
Yep.
They didn't want to let him go. His name was bantered around. He played against the A's at the Coliseum, did well. In fact, I think there was some talk initially about sending Gray to the Astros, Fisher being part of the package. Didn't happen, though.
Good numbers in AAA.
Yeah, very impressive.
21 home runs. Yeah, I'm sure that any team that had a starting pitcher that was available, this is probably one of the guys that they asked for. Now 3-0 to Fisher.
As much as he may be pitching him carefully, first base open. Springer, a very good hitter to the on-deck circle. He walks him, he may be out of the game, because it just looks like he is drained, and that's a decision for the skipper Bob Melvin to have to make the decision if that does happen.
Left center field. Davis into the corner. Now Powell, and Powell slips, but he makes the catch. So there's that area out there again, right in front of the bullpen, but Powell grabs it. 2 runs for the Astros. They lead 2-0. And bring you the happy hour. It's also available to listen live and as a podcast on NBCSportsBayArea.com. 5th inning from Minute Maid Park in Houston. Astros with a 2-0 lead.
Could have been worse.
Could have been worse. I agree. Maxwell takes a first pitch strike. Maxwell, Powell, and Joyce here in the 5th.
Not often you see 2 hitters in the same inning get the green light 3-0. Well, maybe that's A.J. Hinch just saying to his offense, we're going to need you, and see what you can do when you get the 3-0.
Maxwell rolls it past Mike Eldreddy. Maxwell hit a fly ball to center field. That was back in the second inning. Grounded is short. Gonzalez has it, flips across, and that's out number one.
Well, the 5th annual A's Bowling Bash presented by Chevron, Lagunitas Brewing Company, Gerton Municipal Bond Management, Independent Electric Supply, and Crystal Clear Imaging is the evening of Saturday, August 26th at Earl Anthony's Dublin Bowl. That's coming up this Saturday. Proceeds benefit the A's Community Fund, which supports charitable organizations that improve the quality of life for people throughout the Bay Area. To learn more about the A's Community Fund, visit athletics.com. Big Bowling Bash Saturday. Actually, a week from today. A week from tonight.
Yep.
Following the Dennis Eckersley bobblehead on that same day. The Eck weekend. He may be happy to get out of Boston considering everything that's going on there.
Yeah, who knows? This time with the shift on, Bregman playing at the shortstop spot. He's got to hurry to get to Speedy Powell. So 2 outs here in the 5th.
Well, I think you said it best, Kev, about Alex Bregman, and when he was drafted and how quickly he got to big leagues, and they had tried various third basemen, and they settled on him and kind of said, it's your job. We're going to live and die with you, and he's turned into be a very good third baseman, good hitter, right in the middle of a pretty good batting order.
Yeah, as we mentioned in our opener, was only in the minor leagues for a year and a half, but he also played baseball at LSU, which is a premier collegiate baseball program. You play 3 years at a school like that, you may not need quite as much time in the minor leagues. 3 ground ball outs for Colin McHugh, so he gets a shutdown inning. Bottom of the 5th coming up. True Story is brought to you by McDonald's. On this date in 1945, Hall of Fame slugger and former athletic Jimmy Fox starts and throws 7 2/3 innings, giving up just 4 hits. The Phillies had a 4-2 victory over Cincinnati at Shibe Park. The 37-year-old corner infielder playing in his final season will take them out a total of 9 times. And he had a 1.59 ERA. There he is, double X, Jimmy Fox. I did not know he pitched.
I didn't either, but I knew he's big.
Yeah, you gonna mess with that guy?
No.
Man.
He called me anything you want.
That's right, Mr. Fox.
That's right.
Bottom of the 5th inning with the Astros leading. And here's Springer, Bregman, and Altuve, so top of the order. In Baltimore, the Angels leading the Orioles 5-1, top of the 5th inning. Angels trying to bounce back after heartbreaking loss last night. So those highlights when I got home, Ray, where Machado hit 3 home runs, the game-winner grand slam. There was 10 home runs hit in that game last night. Each team, the Angels and the Orioles, hit 5. Well, tonight, with the Angels leading 5-1, the Angels have hit 4 more home runs. So the Angels have hit 9 home runs. And what is 14 innings now? And check this out. And I'm glad we got to this because that game was just part of this. 58 home runs hit in 15 games. Second highest total of home runs hit in one day in Major League history.
2002, year the A's won 20 in a row. It was the same year that on that 2nd of July, 62 home runs hit in 16 games that day.
But you think about if 10 get hit in one game.
That's right.
You can see where you'd get to 58 quickly.
Well, what did you say earlier that the first 9 runs were counted all by home run? 7 home runs.
So the Angels tied with the Twins for that second wild card spot, again leading 5-1 in the 5th. Mariners leading the Rays 7-5. Toward Powell, who grabs it, so Springer is retired.
And let's not forget that all those teams vying for the wild cards, they're going to play what? The season's going to end on October the 1st, about the 3rd. American League's going to play National League the next day, and by that Saturday, they're going to start the division series. And this team, the Astros, probably have the best record in the American League, and if that's the case, then they will finish on Sunday and play that wild card champion who has played Sunday to get in, Tuesday to get in, and then to continue. And you can say to me whatever you want about losing your best starting pitcher, but you get to postseason, you've got momentum, you're excited just to be there. To me, that's why wild card champions are the ones that do the best, just because they are ready to play.
And Bregman rips one down the third baseline fair. Davis tracks it down in the corner, and Bregman has a 1-out double. Bregman's got a pretty good idea at the plate. We saw him hit the home run, but this pitch moving in on him, and watch how quick he is.
Pulled the hands in. They tried to go inside, and probably the scout report says get him inside. Don't let him extend his arms because he hit the home run last night to right field. But just like Matt Olson, who made some adjustments, and Chad Pinder, who we've seen do the same thing. Seems like Bregman's got a pretty good idea. 30th double.
And here's Altuve, who has hit into a double play, and he has walked. And Lowry on a pickoff attempt. In that Mariners game, Nelson Cruz has hit another home run. He's got 31 home runs on the year. It was a 2-run shot.
Said he hit one Tropicana Field last night with 485.
485. Jeez. Longest one ever there.
And they gave it to a visiting player. That's pretty impressive by the Rays.
Yeah, I don't think they had any choice with that one. Yankees leading the Red Sox 4-2, top of the 6th inning at Fenway. Red Sox with a 5-game lead in the East. Indians leading the Royals 4-0 in the 5th inning. Indians starting to really stretch it out now. They have a 6-game lead over the Twins, a 6.5-game lead over Kansas City. So I think, as a lot of people figured would happen, Ray, the Indians kind of starting to flex their muscles a little bit.
They've got Andrew Miller back off the DL. Kluber kind of injured his ankle covering first, or slipping. But I don't know how serious that is. Any word on him from last night? I know he to cover first base and was limping a little bit day to day. That's
Altuve, line drive, center field, base hit. Here comes Bregman. Here comes the throw to the plate. It's a good one, and he is out.
And Bregman put his hand up for them to take a look at it, but that is a strong throw by Boog Powell. And the hand is up. They're going to take a look at it. And of course, a couple of things you always have to look at. Did he give a lane? Altuve again, 3-0. That's the third batter swinging 3-0. Boog Powell all the way in the air. Short hop. Altuve's going to go to second on the throw. The question is the front leg up in the air. They're going to take a look at it. The tag was the front leg above the plate. That's the key that they will look at.
So Ryan Adeton is the home plate umpire, along with Jerry Lane, the crew chief. So a very close play at the plate.
Well, and unfortunately, the rule now exists that you can't do anything. That's a perfect play right there that you can put your. See where Maxwell has to make the play. Now see, his foot is above the plate, and as he slides, slowed down. If the front foot, a lot of times as a slide goes, he goes back a little bit, and the foot comes up.
So check it out. This is through Thursday.
I say the fans are cheering because they think the foot's on the plate, but as you slow it down, it seemed to be above, almost like it's hydroplaning above the plate.
485 overturned calls this year.
Watch the front foot. Does it go up? And he's tagged. Does he get it back down? And that's the determining call right there. It's the front foot, because it looks like it beats him, except that when he tags him, is the front foot above the plate or had it touched? I think all days you're hoping, in this case for Bob Melvin, not A.J. Hinch, who's challenging, you're hoping that there's enough evidence that can overturn it. Otherwise, it's definitive. Is it definitive enough? Does the play stand? Because there's not enough of a view and information available.
Here we go. What do you think? Yep, he's out.
So that must mean the foot was above the plate when he slid. And the base runners who can go straight in. What a throw by Boog Powell. Altuve does go to second, but check the left foot. It hits the ground, and as he goes back, it comes up right there. So it's above the plate, and that's evidently what they looked at, or maybe not enough information or a shot to overturn it. See how quickly it went and happened in real time. Nice assist by Boog Powell, and so another hitter swinging 3-0. Great throw by Boog Powell.
And that one's hit toward right. Joyce going back. Joyce near the wall, just enough room, makes the catch. And the Astros do not score. So nice play by Boog Powell in center field on the throw. 2-0 Astros.
One mobile app for Live A's Baseball. Stay connected with a fully customizable experience. Get A's home screen icons and app features as well as game day, live game video highlights, radio broadcast, StatCast, news, and more. Download MLB.com at bat today. See all that good food? That looks good, but it's not as good as a food truck. I mean, they get a big old helmet with nachos. You got some homemade chips in the food trucks. It's good stuff, though, regardless. Especially get a helmet on top of it. A Legends helmet. Game is only 2-0. A lot of excitement, but the A's defense has really excelled, and 3 times already Astros hitters have been given the green light. 3-0.
Simeon, Lowry, and Davis here in the 6th inning. Close pitch, 2-1 the count. Simeon a double and a fly ball to right field so far. McHugh at 81 pitches. And a sneaky fastball with pretty good movement. 3 strikeouts from McHugh. He has walked 1. Payoff pitch, and it's hit hard off the glove of Bregman into shallow left field. Simeon with a big turn. He stays, so he's with the leadoff man on again. Hey, it's 15th anniversary of the A's historic 20-game win streak. We live some of the greatest moments of the streak on A's pre- and post-game live.
That one is gone, and it's 20 consecutive victories for the Oakland
So
Athletics.
15 years ago. So the A's about a week into that 20-game winning streak at this point. So Simeon given a hit on that. So hit number 6 for the A's, and here's Lowry.
Colin McHugh's last 3-2 count was Maxwell in the 2nd inning. 3rd, 4th, and 5th did quite well. Pitch count was down. Now 3-2 to Simeon in this inning. And Simeon to start the inning with a base hit. 2nd of the game for him.
Lowry has reached on a fielder's choice, and he has singled, so he's been on base twice. Hits that one hard right to Gonzalez, who hustles to the bag, steps on the bag, throws to first. Gurriel digs it out, and that's a double play. Gonzalez had a decision to make. Should I take it myself or flip to Altuve? And he decided that he was going to take it himself.
I don't think Altuve would have gotten there. Long run for Altuve, and decided to do it himself, and turns out to be the best move.
That's a nice play.
That was a very good play, and that quickly the shift turns into a positive for the Astros there. Instead of a base hit, maybe 1st and 3rd, turns out to be a double play.
So 3 double plays hit into by the Athletics in the first 6 innings. So that's frustrating. One of them was the line out double play.
And that's the 11th ground ball out. That's 11 with that double play. He had 9 through 5 innings.
Chris Davis takes a strike.
He is following Mr. Keiko from last night, as far as that's concerned.
Well, it's a beautiful combination if your infield defense is
right.
good. And the Astros defense is good, and Davis gets hit. So a 2-out base runner for the Athletics.
That was running hard in, and actually would have gotten him in the ribs, but he pulled his elbow in. Watch the elbow come in and maybe missed the padding. And it's an out in front of Chris Davis, thinking maybe he was going to charge the mound. I don't know if I would want to get in front of him if he does decide to charge the mound.
So here's Healy. Healy with a strikeout and a single, and we're going to get a visit from the pitching coach.
So going to come out early tomorrow morning. You can see Brent Strom, and I think it's Lance McCullers with a simulated game tomorrow morning.
That'll be a good one to watch if you're an Astros fan. So getting back to the 20-game winning streak, this was win number 6 of the 20 in Cleveland. Eric Chavez with a couple of home runs. And when it was all said and done, it was an 8-1 final. The A's over the Indians. Nasty stuff from Tim Hudson. That's the way it was back then with Huddy. So game number 6 in the books. 6-game winning streak. So the meeting at the mound is over, and here's Healy. Healy lays off. Breaking ball down and away. Musgrove and Liriano, a couple of former starters, now pitching out of the bullpen for the Astros.
It's not good when you make a trade for a starter and put him in the bullpen, and you're struggling with your starters. Mariano having to learn how to pitch out of the bullpen after being a starter. That's tough because as a starter, you've got as much time as you want. You have 4 days leading up to the start, and then you can take an hour if you want. As a reliever, they may be getting him ready for the next inning just because it's going to take him that long to get loose.
Well, that and maybe that's the best way to have a guy learn how to get ready as a reliever. Right. But the problem with that is, Ray, is if you're a left-handed reliever, you got to be able to get left-handed hitters out.
Yeah.
And that means a lot of times you're going to be coming in the middle of an inning.
That's right. Yep.
And
Tony Sipp comes back and changes, but right now he's not, and it's Liriano who they're depending on to be the guy.
I think Liriano could help you in the bullpen if you needed a couple innings out of him. But
exactly.
if you needed that one left-handed hitter get out in the 6th or 7th inning, that's where you got to get ready quickly and
it might
throw
not
strikes right away.
Yeah, it might not be a specialization for a starter going to the bullpen and try to get the big out. But he had indicated being a reliever after a starter. He started talking to some of the relievers. How quickly? How do you do it? And usually, if you're a relief pitcher, you have 2 pitches, sinker slider, basically that you get those 2 pitches ready, and that's why a majority of relievers have just 2 pitches.
Fisher shaded over toward left center. He waits. He's got it. Side retired. So the A's get a hit and a hit batter, but the double play hurts them. And we're going to the bottom of the 6th. 2-0 Houston. T-Mobile. Big season for Renato Nunez, who we saw in the big leagues for a little while last year in September, but he leads all minor leaguers in home runs with 32. B.J. Boyd, left-handed hitter. He's from the Bay Area, went to Palo Alto High School. He's having a very fine season. Leads all A's minor leaguers with 155 hits, and a couple of young outfielders at Class A out of the draft. Actually an outfielder and a catcher. The New York Penn League All-Star team. So that is our Saturday look at the A's minor leagues. Oh, Nunez. 32 homers and 77 RBIs. Chapman scoops it up, flips it across. So Yuli Gurriel is retired at one pitch. So one away here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Great to have the defensive plays last inning. So Kendall Graveman can pick the 6th, and for a while it looked like in the 4th he might be out of the game, but still in the game and pitching well. Just a 2-0 game.
Gonzalez has the big hit in this game. A base hit with the bases loaded and knocked in a pair. Only 2 runs in the game. So 1-1 the count. Well, Aaron Judge set a record today, Ray, that he doesn't want to have.
Struck out in how many consecutive games?
36 consecutive games. And that is a major league record for the rookie outfielder who's having a great season. He has been striking out at a significant rate in the second half of the season.
What do they say? As a home run hitter, you're going to strike out a lot.
And he's doing that, yeah. Judge has now struck out 164 times this year. That's second most in the American League. Graveman has it. His throw. What a play by Kendall Graveman. I did not think he had any chance to get Marwin Gonzalez. That's as good as it gets from a pitcher.
Well, the double play he turned unassisted in Anaheim, and then this play, the slide up and throwing a perfect throw to Olsen at first, and it's almost like he anticipated. He saw Gonzalez just really square around and push it, and at that point Graveman was able to anticipate, knowing there was nobody over there to field it, and got to it, slid, and made a perfect throw. And considering the game that he has had, see there, it's almost like a sacrifice, and he's out of the box quickly thinking, I got it beaten, and then all of a sudden a perfect play by Kendall Graveman to get him out. But if he drags it instead of just squaring around, I think the fact that he squared around as early as he did, because there was nobody on that side of the infield, it allowed Kendall Graveman to react quickly, and he was cat-like off the mound to be able to make a great play.
2-1 the count to Carlos Beltran, who is 0 for 2. And now it's 2-2. Yeah, so Aaron Judge owns that record. 36 consecutive games with a strikeout.
Well, and then Albert Pujols on the other end, over 600 home runs, has the biggest record of most grounded into double plays.
Yeah.
But both of them, at least one's going to Hall of Fame, and by the time his career is over, Aaron Judge, pretty good chance if he continues.
Well, how about this, though, if you're Aaron Judge? So you're sitting on this record, right? You're tied 35 straight games. So who's pitching tonight for the Red Sox?
Chris Sale.
I mean, you know he's going to strike you out at least once for sure.
That's a good point.
So that's
hey, Skip, could I have the night off?
Oh, man. Guy who's trying to have a 300 strikeout season.
And if he can do it without tearing off the uniform, that's going to be great.
Graveman kicks and fires 3-2, and a breaking ball, and he gets Beltran swinging for the second time. Good inning for Kendall Graveman, and we are moving to the 7th. Astros 2, A's nothing.
On NBC Sports California is brought to you by 21st Amendment. Join our August Fest party on August 26th from 12 to 6. Visit 21stamendment.com for details.
So Astros 2, A's nothing. Top of the 7th inning from Houston, Texas. Downtown Houston. New pitcher is Francisco Liriano, the left-hander who started against the A's really not that long ago.
Right.
Maybe a month ago. Guessing. So coming over in the trade from the Toronto Blue Jays at the trade deadline, Nori Aoki and young outfielder Teoscar Hernandez went to the Blue Jays in the deal. Matt Olson goes after the first pitch and grounds out. So that's out number 1, and that'll bring up Matt Chapman. So a very good start for Colin McHugh. 6 shutout innings, 92 pitches. And he was pretty sharp. He got 3 double plays. That certainly helped him a lot.
Yes, it did. Not a bad return for the young man, and pitches like that, especially they go to postseason, that'd be a nice boost for the Astros and AJ Hinch.
Liriano made 18 starts for the Blue Jays this year. He has pitched a little bit out of the bullpen in his career, 35 relief appearances, but still this is somewhat of a new thing for him. You know, the thing with somebody like Liriano, Ray, who he's just been inconsistent as a starter.
Right.
We've seen him be dominant, and then we've also seen him where it's kind of all over. But if you think about it, he's been around a long time. If he could figure out the relief thing and being left-handed,
That's right.
he could probably pitch a lot longer into his career as a reliever
And he's
than as a starter.
Yeah, be more than a 1-inning pitcher too.
Exactly. I mean, his stuff is still pretty darn good. He just needs to figure out how to be a reliever and how to use his stuff. Man, a lefty that throws like he does, think he wouldn't be in demand?
Yes, he would. And his specialty is a slider to the back foot. In a game he had against the A's with Twins well, not that long ago, but 15 strikeouts. And you're looking at slider, And it's a matter of whether his catcher is going to call it or when he's going to shake to it. There it is.
And it just missed inside. So Chapman, 1-out base runner.
But he threw it as if he was hoping to get a called strike. You need to throw it aggressively to get a swing and miss, because if you throw it like that, it's kind of floating in, hoping for a strike on a call. Instead, it's a walk, and maybe the A's can do something. It's a hard fastball. The fastball hit very hard by Chapman, and then the slider.
First pitch to Maxwell is 95 on the outside corner. Maxwell is 0 for 2. Fly ball to center field, a ground out to short. Astros outfield shifts a little bit toward left center for Maxwell. Reddick well off the line and right. There's that slider.
Well, if Bob Melvin had put in Justin Garneau, they probably would have brought a right-hander in. That's the only catcher remaining. So by Maxwell staying in the game now, if he should come up later, it would probably be against a right-handed pitcher in the back end of the bullpen. And this being the 7th inning, it leaves him in the game to face a tough lefty.
Fastball 96 miles an hour, but it's outside. So the count even at 2-2. Musgrove was warming up last inning, so he's up again. He's the right-hander. And now full count. Another lefty, Boog Powell, waits in the on-deck circle. The A's, as Ray mentioned, Garneau. They also have Davis and Pinder, the other right-handed hitters. Bounce to Altuve. He's got it. Flips to second for one, on to first, and that's another double play. So the A's have hit into 4 double plays tonight, and it's hurt them each and every time. 2-0 Astros lead, 7th inning stretch.
California Ford dealers, and Boog Powell with a 3-0 fastball to Altuve, a base hit up the middle and a throw all the way in the air. Bruce Maxwell taking the short hop and applying the tag on Bregman, who said no, let's go to the replay. And the replay said take your finger and shake at somebody else because you're out regardless. And top foot went over the plate. And there's your challenge, and there's your out. So Boog Powell with a great assist. Was it here that Bregman playing in center field threw out a runner at third base? I know that Bregman made a strong throw also, and
I think so, yeah.
for some reason it seems like it was here, but
So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and smog experts. Here's Daniel Coulombe coming in for Graveman in the bottom of the 7th inning. Graveman goes 6 innings. So 6 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks, and 3 strikeouts, and 100 pitches for Graveman. So back-to-back strong performances for Kendall Graveman, but he cannot get a win tonight.
Well, the 100th pitch was a breaking ball to Beltran. He struck him out. So a good outing by Kendall Graveman. Now Daniel Coulombe will try to continue and try to get the A's offense with a couple more opportunities.
First pitch strike to Juan Centeno.
Am I correct in saying 4 double plays today?
Yep. You are correct, sir.
I would be wrong, but I thought that was it.
Centeno, Fisher, and Springer. So a couple of lefties and then a righty for Coulombe here in the bottom of the 7th. That's a strike, 1 and 2. Mariners still leading the Rays 7-5. That game now in the top of the 9th inning in St. Petersburg. Tap back to Coulombe. Jumps off the mound, throws to first, 1 away. And here comes Fisher. Angels leading the Orioles 5-1, bottom of the 6th inning. Keep an eye on those teams in that chase for the 2nd wild card. Twins leading the Diamondbacks 5-0 in the 5th inning. Twins and Angels are tied for the 2nd wild card spot. First pitch to Fisher is high. Yankees still leading the Red Sox. It's 4-3, bottom of the 7th at Fenway. Rangers in the mix, but they're losing tonight 5-2 to the White Sox in the 3rd inning. White Sox scored 5 in the 1st. Rangers just a game and a half out of their 2nd wild card. Craziness.
And they traded Yu Darvish.
Just plain craziness, Ray.
And some of the moves that were made, the Twins got rid of the closer, Kinsler. He's now with the Nationals. And some of the moves that have been made, yet teams right in the thick thing for the wild card.
2-1 the count. Dodgers won again. They beat the Tigers 3-0. Dodgers picked up Curtis Granderson, so that's a good addition. Granderson's had a pretty good year for the Mets.
The Grandy man came. He hit a grand slam for the Mets.
Fastball is high, 3-1. So the Dodgers now 87-34, and they are on pace to set the record for most wins in a single season.
See, today's the 19th. They could have 100 wins by early September. Wow.
3-1 pitch is right there for a strike. 3-2 to Fisher. Fisher has struck out and hit a fly ball to center field. And the 3-2, maybe a slider, and Fisher with a pretty good take. So Bob Melvin's coming out. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and smog expert. So Coulombe is out as Springer's coming up. We'll be back.
Sports California is brought to you by the 2017 Jeep Cherokee with an EPA estimated 30 highway miles per gallon. By Southwest, yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. By Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places. By AAA, get a free canvas backpack. Restrictions apply. Go to AAA.com/roadtrip or to a AAA branch for details. By the all-new 2017 Chrysler Pacifica. And by Xfinity. X1 will change the way you experience TV.
So the Astros leading 2-0, bottom of the 7th inning. They got a runner at first, 1 out. So Ryan Dull comes in to face George Springer. So Dull, 2-2 with a 5.01 ERA. He last pitched on Wednesday against the Royals at the Coliseum. Pitched an inning, gave up a hit, a run, and a couple of walks. Springer tonight has singled, doubled, and hit a fly ball to center field. So after going 0 for 4 last night, Springer with a couple of hits tonight. Springer, an all-star this year for the first time. Well deserved. It will not be his last all-star game.
28 home runs out of your leadoff hitter. That's pretty impressive. Playing a lot of center field with Reddick playing right field, and when Marisnick is in the outfield, still Springer, and that's a pretty good combination. Tough to have Marisnick not be able to play every day, but it's kind of a platoon. Marisnick, some pretty good numbers for a part-time player.
Yeah, Springer played center field in a handful of games before this year, but certainly athletic enough to do it. Grounds that one to Chapman. Tough hop. Chapman spins around, fires to second for one, back to first, and that's a double play. That is a nasty hop, and Chapman stayed with it, and the A's turned the double play. 8th inning coming up. Work to do for the A's. They trail 2-0. And it's the top of the 8th inning, and even though the inning has not yet started, Ray, we got a pitching change. So Rajai Davis is pinch hitting, and with Liriano the lefty out there, A.J. Hinch is going to the bullpen. Musgrove coming in. California.com. It's brought to you by Max Muscle. Log on each week to chat with our A's insider Joe Stiglitz as he's talking baseball with players, coaches, special guests, and more. It's available on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and Spotify. And this week it's A's Chief Operating Officer Chris Giles, who sits down with Joe Stiglitz. So it's worth a listen.
It's all right, Joe. We'd go to the COO versus guy for me. That's okay.
Yeah,
I know. We'll accept that.
Back seat to that one.
Yeah, we'll accept that.
Here's Joe Musgrove, who saw him earlier this year as a starter, now in the bullpen, and maybe the Astros have found something there. He's pitched well out of the bullpen. 1 earned run in 13 1/3 innings as a reliever. That's a 0.68 ERA, not a huge amount of innings pitched, so still tough to judge, but he's got good stuff.
Well, one of the problems, some of the young pitchers who had never experienced pitching a full season, you almost have to put them in the bullpen. You front load them with the starts, but then by the time the innings mount up, you start putting them in the bullpen. Musgrove kind of in that category. He was waiting in the wings when Rajai was announced as a pinch hitter with Liriano on the mound. That's when A.J. Hinch decided to go to the bullpen.
Fouled straight back, 2-2 the count.
Hey, Kipe, you know the A's have been shut out. You know that.
I do. And they haven't scored any runs either.
They only scored one last night on a home run. And Steve Scarsoni very, very lonely again tonight.
Count stays 2-2 to Rajai Davis. Bluebirds are out. Fan in the front row missed it. That's Tyler Clippard, new Astro. So the Astros picked up Liriano and Clippard. Clippard was just a little while ago. And Rajai Davis is able to hold up.
Big breaking ball, and Rajai, who we saw against Moylan at the Kansas City Royals, swung at the pitches outside. They kept running away from him. He almost did it again with Musgrove.
And he lays off a 3-2 slider, and Rajai Davis has a leadoff walk.
That's amazing. What guys do and trying to get guys to swing 3-0 or 3-2 on a breaking ball that's really not even close.
So for the 4th time tonight, the A's have their leadoff man aboard. Now to the top of the order, see if the A's can make something happen. First pitch to Joyce is inside.
The A's need to do something without hitting into a double play, and played 7 innings and 4 double plays. That's not good.
And Joyce, scooped by Altuve. Out at second, on the first double play. Double play number 5. And I think Altuve probably could have caught that in the air, but instead he just short hopped it.
And that's a smart play. To be able to short hop it, spin, throw to second. Rajay really had to freeze, because if he caught it in the air, didn't want to be doubled off, but this way he was doubled off anyway, or doubled up. And Altuve with a longer throw to Gonzalez, and he fired it back across. So 5 double plays after last night's 17 ground ball outs, and really tonight that's 16 ground ball outs there combined. With the start of McHugh and Liriano got a double play, and now this one.
Quick strike to Marcus Semien, who has doubled, singled, and hit a fly ball to right field. And it's 0-2. Well, last night it was Davinsky and Giles, the 2 relievers that were used. Liriano and Musgrove so far tonight. Giles picked up the save. He threw 22 pitches, so keep that in mind as we get close to the 9th inning. The Astros have a lot of depth down there with Gregerson, Clippard, Giles, all guys who can close games. 1-2 pitch struck him out swinging. So another double play for the Astros. Bottom of the 8th coming up. 2-0 Houston.
Sports California is brought to you by Provident Credit Union Super Reward Checking. We pay you.
Here's our game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. 0-6-0 for the Athletics, 2-6-0 for the Astros. Graveman 6 good innings tonight. Colin McHugh 6 very good innings, as he did not allow a run. And the big hit in the game, a 2-run single by Marwin Gonzalez. That was in the 4th inning. So the A's have one more shot, and we'll see which Astros reliever it is against. As Dull back out there. First pitch to Bregman is a strike. Rajay Davis, after pinch hitting for Powell, stays in the game in center field. Quick 0-2 to Bregman. Bregman a walk, a flyout, and a double. So 1 for 2 tonight and 2 for 6 in the series. Altuve to follow, and then Reddick here in the bottom of the 8th inning. And that one is launched down the left field line, and it is gone. Run number 15 for Alex Bregman. So he's had a big series, and it's 3-0 Houston.
And that's what you do with a hanger right here. Hung right on the inner half of the plate. Just a matter of fair or foul. Definitely had the distance, and it stayed fair. A majestic home run. I mean, those are really exceptional, and it wasn't cheap. Up on the tracks.
Yeah, it was down the line, but you could tell it was going to stay fair the whole way.
That's a big run too, because that makes it 3-0, and now the A's have to get a couple on before a home run would tie it.
Altuve with a line drive, base hit to left field. So Altuve is 2 for 3.
That's amazing. Now Ryan Dull is not the closer, but many times when the reliever comes in, the adrenaline, he got the double play with Springer, and then comes back out and gives up a home run and a solid base hit.
So here's Reddick. So Liam Hendricks, who was up a couple of innings ago.
Jeremy Dowdle answered the phone to Garvin Austin. Let him know somebody else get up, or somebody's going to be coming in at a certain time.
First pitch to Reddick is a strike. Reddick is 0 for 2. He walked and scored in the 4th. Mariners beat the Rays 7-6. That game just went final. Miranda over Odorizzi. So the Mariners have won 4 in a row. And they are now a couple of games over 500. Reddick swung at a ball, and it's 0-2.
And they're going to look at their season and say if they had any consistency at all, who knows where they would be.
Angels still leading the Orioles 5-1 in the bottom of the 7th inning. So Dahl doing what he has to do. Keep a close eye on Altuve. Can't blame him for that. 1-2 now to Reddick. Reddick hitting in the cleanup spot. The Astros missing Carlos Correa and Evan Gattis and Ryan McCann. They slide Reddick into the cleanup spot. Altuve runs, and the ball is popped up. Chapman heading over into foul territory. Now he stops, he waits, he's got it.
Now the A's were renaming D-Gate after Baseball Hall of Famer Dennis Eckersley. That's at 4 p.m. on Friday, August the 25th. Members of ex-family and former teammates Ricky Henderson Gordon Lansford, Mike Moore, and Terry Steinbach will be able to attend for that great ceremony. Also join us for Dennis Eckersley Day on Saturday, the 26th, when 15,000 fans will receive a Dennis Eckersley bobblehead. It's presented by Chevron Extra Mile. Visit athletics.com/tickets.
So here's Gurriel who takes a strike. Gurriel's got a hit tonight after 2 hits last night. So he's 3 for 7 in the series. Altuve stole the base in the 4th inning. To Gurriel. Altuve not running. Maxwell coming over. Olsen coming over, and Maxwell cannot quite get it. On deck is Marwin Gonzalez. In the top of the 9th inning, the A's will have Lowry, Davis, and Healy. Runner goes, swing and a miss, throw to second base. Safe. So Gurriel strikes out, but it's a stolen base for Jose Altuve.
Can't make a better throw than that, and look at the jump. That's called the running lead again. We've seen that, and well, you have to make the runner stop, and boy, Bruce Maxwell should have just run right over Gurriel as he crossed the plate when he threw. Could have been interference anyway.
That was closer,
yeah,
closer at second base than we originally thought, and the A's are taking a pretty close look at it, and they are going to look at it. If you watch Lowry's tag, he tags Altuve on the hand, right?
Yep.
There
for his foot.
So it's very close.
Yeah, because the throw went right into it. Yeah. But you know, even with Maxwell throwing, Gurriel struck out on the sweeping breaking ball, and he crossed home plate. And you know, Eddie Montague said that you don't have to make contact if he just interferes with the throw, although that was a very good throw by Maxwell. So the challenge will be at second.
You know, I mean, if this is not, if that's not interference,
yeah,
then I'm not sure what is.
Well,
the ball that you don't have to sail the ball in the center field.
When you don't have to make contact either.
But watch the hitter, and we'll show it to you. Watch the hitter.
Yeah.
He falls completely across home plate.
And Maxwell has to throw over him. And if there's any interference at all, it's a double play. You don't have to make contact. And again, that's called him out second, so it's a moot point. Got him.
So, and that's the third out of the inning. So the A's will head to the 9th. They need 3 runs to tie and a 4 to grab the lead.
Yeah,
check it out.
This is it right there. That's interference.
How can that not be catcher's interference?
That's the home plate umpire should have called it immediately.
So we're headed to the 9th. Work to do.
The difference in the game is this 3-0 base hit by Marwin Gonzalez. Bases loaded, trips out of the batter's box. Probably should have gotten at least one out of it, but the ball trickled in the outfield. The 2 walks given up by Kendall Graveman to start the inning, both scored. Altuve and Reddick. And that is the difference in the game. All the double plays the A's have hit into. And actually a total between the two teams, 8 double plays tonight. 5 by the A's swinging the bat, 3 by the A's fielding. Too many double plays regardless.
So here's Tyler Clippard when it's time for change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and smog experts. So Clippard got 3 saves this year. None with the Astros, as he has not been with the Astros very long. Just his 3rd appearance coming over in that trade from the White Sox. So he's had some travels in the last month.
Yes, he has.
Went from the Yankees to the White Sox, and now the White Sox to the Astros.
Well, it worked out well for him. He goes for from a potential postseason. The Yankees to going home in October 1st to back to postseason.
Yep, that's right.
Because he's cleared waivers, and I would assume at least he's capable of being on the roster, as he was acquired prior to September 1st. But you know, the big home run by Bregman, and that is big because it's 3. This young man is capable of making it interesting. Let's see if the A's can do that. Not like that.
Altuve went for the backhand. He cannot get to it clean. And right behind him was Marwin Gonzalez. It would probably an easier play for Gonzalez than it was for Altuve, but it's going to be an error.
Well, he ranges to his right, but you're right. Gonzalez is there going over, and better to catch the ball in front versus the backhand. And you have to know where the other infielder is. I mean, they're shifting. You've got 3 guys to the right side.
That's the first error in the ball game, and for the Astros, error number 78 on the year. They made a couple, but they did not make any last night, so it's their first error in the series. And here's Davis. First pitch to Chris Davis is outside. Tyler Clippard pitched a couple times against the A's for the Yankees, and did not pitch well.
Right.
The A's got to him a couple times. May have been on back-to-back nights.
Yeah. He's known more for his changeup. Drop over the top, fastball changeup. Got a little breaking pitch.
Like that.
Yeah.
The changeup right off the end of the bat by Chris Davis. Davis 0 for 2. He was hit by a pitch in the 6th inning. Davis looking for his first hit in this series. He's 0 for 6. Good swing by Chris Davis.
That was the pitch right there.
Changeup on the inner half, it looked like.
Just missed it.
So 1-2. Short lead for Lowry at first. And he got it. So Davis strikes out for the first out here in the 9th inning.
The breaking ball catches the outside corner and really started inside corner, went to the outside part of the plate and got the call.
So here's Healy. On deck is Matt Olson. Healy 1 for 3 tonight, 2 for 6 in the series. There's a strike in the inside corner. That's the Clippard fastball at 90 miles an hour.
Seems like 100 after his 78 changeup.
Altuve shifted toward second base.
Like Healy's looking on the right side, see the big opening on the right side like he did second at bat, going to right field, 0-2 fastball.
Bregman's got it. Fires to second for one. On to first. Safe.
Little premature, folks. And they lost the challenge. This would have to be an umpire's challenge. They've already lost it, so don't be looking at the dugout because it's got to be an umpire. Well, that was. See, AJ's got to go to the crew chief and ask. Because it was the 8th inning. See, AJ did that here the last time the A's were in town. Went to the umpire and got them to have an umpire's challenge. And he's going to the crew chief, Jerry Lane.
See, this is where I think this whole challenge thing is ridiculous.
That's right. Why even have it if you can do this?
But it's just, the fact that Hinch does not have a challenge now.
Right.
I mean, I just think
it's close. But is it in the back of the glove? Now he's asking the first base umpire, "What do you think? What do you think?" And let's see if they're going to take a look at it. That's not right. That's not right, because if you can convince the crew chief to take a look at the play, and remember it's AJ who on Thursday blasted the umpires for making a call home plate and said they've been treated unfairly for the past week. And now it gets them to convinces them to make the change, or at least to challenge it. Ball's got to be in the back of the glove.
I don't know that there's enough there to change that call.
And there shouldn't be. Shouldn't even be asking the first base umpire.
See, ball's in there.
It's not all the way in.
Not all the way in yet.
It's got to be to the back.
And he's on the back, so he's going to be safe.
But I agree with you, because what's the purpose of having a challenge if you can go to the umpire and get them to have an umpire's challenge after losing your challenge? So essentially he's getting 2. He loses 1, but it doesn't matter. You gotta be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me.
That is unbelievable. And that's the ball game.
You've got to be kidding me.
I have no idea how that call could be reversed. I really don't. That's how the game ends, on a overturned call that turns into a double play.
Well, A.J. Hinch has to take back everything he said Thursday now.
So, there's your final score of 3-0. It took 2 hours and 46 minutes, and the attendance tonight was 32,796. Once again, the final score, the Astros 3 and the Oakland Athletics 0. Time now for A's Post Game Live, brought to you by State Farm. Here is Mindy Bach.